Porter, Pike, Anoka, Dallas, Camden, Hickory, Coffee, Cannon, Claiborne, Campbell, Douglas, Hanson, Gregory, Berkeley, Beaufort, Layton, Brunswick, Buncombe, Burkett, Barris, Clay, Hardin, Bracken, Logan, Morgan, Osceola, Bristol Bay, Bosque, Brazos, Brewster, Blanco, Bastrop, Bowie, Burleson, Angelina, Atascosa, Nacogdoches, Anderson, Adams, Travis, Adams, Thomas, Reno, Harvey, Wichita, Caddo, Bossier, Union, Webster, Fayette, St. Clair, Nemaha, Alice, Fannin, Burnett, Llano, Guadalupe, and Liberty, Upshur, Titus, Franklin, Morris, Casson, Camp, and Trinity, Thomas, Seminole, Grady, Doherty, Haskell, Hodgman, Fanny, Gray, Muhlenberg, McLean, Montgomery, Hart, Green, Taylor, Casey, Clay, Green Lake, Salt Lake, Red Lake, Bear Lake, Lake, Peninsula, Lake of the Woods, Fond du Lac, and Lac, Paul, Mille Lacs, Pulaski, Jackson, Woods, Sebastian, Montgomery, Deshay, Independence, Van Buren, Pulaski, and Arkansas, Cherokee, Marion, Powesheep, Audubon, Clay, Palo Alto, Chickasaw, Washington and 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 Washington, Adams, 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 Washington, Jefferson, Polk, Johnson, Johnson, Washington, Franklin, Carroll, Franklin, Carroll, Franklin, Carroll, Washington, Franklin, Carroll, Adams, Douglas, 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 Washington, Lincoln, 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 Johnson, Washington, Jefferson, Polk, Lincoln, Franklin, Washington, Lincoln, Adams, Lincoln, Johnson, Washington, Baker, Baker, Island, Baker, Wheeler, Wheeler, Washington, Washington, Wayne, Washington, Wayne, Washington, Wayne, Washington, Washington, Lee, Washington, Lee, Washington, Lee, Washington, Washington, Pike, Washington, Pike, Washington, Pike, Washington, Washington, Lee, Adams, Lincoln, Washington, Catoosa, Columbia, Cherokee, Oglethorpe, Atkinson, Bleckley, Emmanuel, Cumberland, Buckingham, Halifax, Rockingham, Buttercup, Middlesex, Bath, Campbell, Spotsylvania, Pittsylvania, Transylvania, Accomack, Marshall, Bedford, Fillmore, Coffee, Hancock, Cerro, Gordo, Sac, Cattaraugus, Jefferson, Cayuga, Fulton, Madison, Anderson, and Clarendon, McCormick, Berkeley, Addison, Jasper, Berry, Miller, Gentry, Cedar, Douglas, Callaway, Henry, Johnson, Shelby, Macon, Andrew, Mercer, Nottoway, Thomas, Logan, Banner, Wheeler, Arthur, Hooker, Kippaha, Hazen, Blaine, Grant, Luke, McPherson, Gladwin, Mason, Ogama, Meriwether, Carroll, Jasper, Pickens, Gilmer, Berrien, Tallahatchie, Issaquah, Noxubee, and Marion, Indiana, Juniata, Muscle, Shell, Marker, Nevada, San Jacinto, Tyler, Walker, Jasper, Polk, Colorado, Dickinson, Sioux, Green, Banks, Patrick, Catron, Luna, El Paso, Mesa, Los Animas, Eddie Lee, Slope, Walsh, Pope, Wells, Henry, McLean, Trail, Billings, Subatano, Laramie, Park, Powder River, Macomb, Meade, Mason, Knox, Leslie, Pulaski, Bell, Franklin, Geneva, Dale, Holmes, Lamar, Clay, Randolph, Forsyth, Queen Anne's, Wayne, Glen, Blaine, Bibb, Coffee, Pike, Chambers, Pickens, Escambia, Cherokee, Gary, Perry, Caldwell, St. Mary, Dyer, Iron, Tioga, McKean, Elk, Bradford, Green, Owsley, Breathitt, Lee, Itawamba, Togabec, Yates, Steuben, Schenectady, Ulster, Dutchess, Lewis, Franklin, Green, Albany, Allendale, Darlington, Barnwell, Kewanee, Washburn, West, Brown, La Crosse, Golden Valley, Iowa, Steele, Cass, Mackenzie, McHenry, Nelson, Barnes, Hettinger, Sheridan, Dunpembina, Marshall, Pennington, Dakota, Oglala, Lakota, Otsego, Oswego, Greenbrier, Clay, Iron, Gallia, Pike, Monroe, Savannah Grande, Ormiguero, Ohio, Barranquita, Henderson, Orocovi, Gamoy, St. John, Morovi, Sumner, Stewart, Blunt, Sevier, Bledsoe, Stevens, Monroe, Muskogee, Wilkinson, Warren, Harrelson, Talbot, and Bartow, Hall, Clark, White, Hart, York, Oconee, Colleton, Greenville, Aiken, Chester, Polk, Screven, Evans, Douglas, DeKalb, Byang, Clark, Washita, Bradley, White, Rockland, Focus, Scambia, Caucus, and Garfield, Columbia, Clark, King, Johnson, Park, Traverse, Meeker, Butte, Kent, Start!
And now, some county equivalents of the U.S., brought to you by Malohi.
Jefferson, Madison, Sweetgrass, Gallatin, Wapello, Lucas, and Wayne, Washita, Custer, Canadian, Sutter, McCurtain, and Cimarron, Blaine, Noblewhite, Carroll, Gates, Pasquarton, Terrell, Vermilion, Vernon, Sabine, Newton, Neshoba, DeSoto, Panola, Comanche, McCulloch, and Green, Amelia, Mecklenburg, Nottoway, Lunenburg, Giles, Buchanan, and Bland, Hanover, Caroline, King, and Queen, Smith, Alpine, Chester, Kit Carson, and Grand, Beaver and Bacchus, Watson, Lavaca, Brown, Callahan, Allison, Hunt, Harrison, Muscatine, Appanoose, Woodbury, Henderson, Parker, and Blunt, Jefferson, Baltimore, Clincomo, Rio, La Piedra, Coamo, Monroe, Decatur, Montgomery, Kerr, Erie, and Reagan, Burnett, Taylor, Clark, and Bureau, Scotts, Bluff, and McDonough, Pierce, Madison, Cummings, Cheyenne, Morrill, Brown, Kimball, Howard, Miami, Dade, Orange, Alachua, Citrus, Columbia, Collier, Broward, Zavala, Medina, McMullen, Alpena, Wayne, Roscommon, Dickinson, Bay, Flecker, Zapata, Live Oak, Bay, Oaxaca, Añaco, Penguilla, and Clay, Palo, Pinto, San Augustine, Tarrant, Lee, Cherokee, Ronalds, and Dimmitt, Tom Green, Poya, Montegna, and Leon, Gillespie, Prince Edward, Prince William, Green, Pike, Harrison, Henry, Scotto, and LaRue, Russell, Metcalf, and Carter, McCreary, Breckenridge, Jessamine, Henderson, Crittenden, Livingston, Genesee, Erie, Cedar, Gurabaha, Yuyu, Uthwell, Comanche, Gherkin, Fisher, Payne, Octobaha, Lauderdale, Kemper, Clock, Carroll, Hill, Laurel, McCracken, and Wayne, Lama and Clearwater, Wheatland, and Broadwater, Ponce, El Junta, and Lare, Laja and Guanica, Umaca, Corosa, Florida, Sangre, Manxiale, Rio Grande, Canova, Trujillo, Baltador, Bajadora, Bayamon, Yaku, Culebra, Atillo, Guayama, Northeastern Connecticut, Western Connecticut, Naugatuck Valley, Deer Lodge, and Reveille, and Mocha, Aguado, Rincon. Here goes. East Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Crawford, Orange, Indiana, and then Vinton's the least populous of Ohio, Chalk to Sumter, Alabama, up to Silver Bow, Montana, then there's Denver, Colorado, Custer, Boise, Idaho, Texas has Austin, nowhere near Austin, Cortland in New York, Suffolk, NMA has Boston, District of Columbia in Florida, Levy, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Sequatchie, Tennessee. Elvis probably never went there, I don't know. Gloucester's in New Jersey, east of Jefferson, Missouri, Richmond City's in Virginia, South Dakota has Gerald, Susquehanna, Pennsylvania, Androscoggins up in Maine, and here is Providence, Rhode Island, Sussex, Delaware, called Belknap, New Hampshire, just a quick John, Lamoille and Rutland are up in Vermont, Capital, Connecticut, so pretty in the spring, and Kansas has Comanche, Minnesota, Koochaching. I always wondered why Wacko didn't say anything here. Juneau's in Alaska, Gosper, Lincoln in Nebraska, Davie Franklin out in North Carolina, and then Trempealeau, Wisconsin, and Skamania in Washington, Pima, Arizona, Clark, Calhoun, Michigan, Warren, Mississippi, and Woodford, Illinois. Here's Honolulu, Hawaii, oh boy, South Carolina with Saluda down the way, and Arundel, Carroll, Maryland near Chesapeake Bay. That's like Chesapeake, Virginia. Matrona's in Wyoming, and perhaps you make your home in Cache and Weber, Utah, where the buffalo roam. Lamar and Lumpkin, Georgia, Addie Foster, North Dakota, and you can live in Franklin in your old Kentucky home. Klamath and Oregon, from there we join. Little River, Arkansas, Iowa's got Des Moines, Sacramento, California, Oklahoma has Alfalfa, Braxton, West Virginia, and Nevada, Esmeralda. That's only a fraction so far. Worcester, Barnstable, Nantucket, Oklahoma do we call. Grady, Garfield, Grant, and Stevens, Calhoun, Flagler, Seminole, Union, Davis, Lee, and Henry, Leaks, Covington, and Holmes, Cleardorf, Clark, and Winston Park, and Franklin Stone, Johnson, Jefferson, Van Buren, Candy, Ojai, Norman, Clay, Carlton, Aiken, Carver, Crow, and Kitson, Newton, Clinton, Ray, Davies, Worth, DeKalb, New Madrid, Grundy, Caldwell, Green, Gaye, Texas, Webster, Red, McDonald, Cascades, Rome, Scotland, Harrison, Adair, Knox, Benton, Madison, St. Clair, on top of Searcy, Garland, Jefferson, and Scott, Cleburne, Cross, St. Francis, Craighead, Pointed, Ashley, Drew, and Flathead, Boone, Pub, Newton, Barron, Grayson, Todd, and Knott, Richland, St. Croix,